like there is a game behind Bitcoins that maybe the powers that be want you to accept. Not that Bitcoins will be the global currency of the future, but I had a suspicion that it's kind of like a test pilot program, possibly. And now my suspicions are going like, hey man, it's guaranteed. I did something recently about the negative interest rates that Mario Draghi was talking about. And I did something about the Bitcoins, possibly, it looked very clear to me exactly what's going on. It's kind of like a test pilot program for the global currency because basically all the other currencies are getting clobbered. Every currency in the world is actually getting clobbered in relation to Bitcoins. And, that's rehashing what I said, but here's something more from the major media, and I don't even want to say the source of it exactly, but it's like those two things, new global currency and, being electronic and negative interest rates. They're talking about it, damn it. They're talking about it. You see, if you have paper cash, you say, well, silver is better than paper cash and all this stuff, right? Actually, it is, but you're not going to go negative interest rates if you have a bunch of paper cash. Because you could take it out of the bank and stuff it in a wall or something like that. And, you're not going to say, if you put $100 in the bank, you're not going to get out 95 later. You took paper cash, you're cool, right? They want all electronic money because they're talking about negative interest rates to help stimulate the economy. Just like Mario Draghi don't want to talk about this crap, but now this is coming from other things, and they're talking about it in USA everywhere. Just like as they're floating a trial balloon here, man. But the thing is, once you accept electronic money, forget it, pal. You're done. You're done. You're cooked. You're good. You're freaking done because they got you. I don't like anything electronic, man. It's just like, Hastings, right? With his Mercedes running into the freaking, if he was riding a 1950 Mercury hot rod, with bulletproof doors in it and stuff like that and points ignition, they couldn't have took control of it, you know what I mean? That's one of those conspiracy theories out there, but I don't like nothing electronic. Actually, me getting on here and saying this stuff, it's sticking my neck out, but who the hell knows, man? And what are you going to do? Hide in a hole forever and like, So I want to tell you guys what the hell the deal is. Actually, they're talking about if they go to a digital currency and nobody's allowed to use cash, they'd be able to go into possibly negative interest rates. Now, Bernanke says we actually, in effect, have negative interest rates because the interest rates that are being given to you on your savings are near zero, and the actual inflation rate is around 2%, but it's probably higher than that. But you know what I mean. In effect, you have negative interest rates there. But they're actually talking about negative interest rates as in you put money in a bank and you get less money out. And, everybody would say, well, I could just take my money out of the bank then. Well, if you can't use paper, you're screwed, right? So herein is the method behind the madness of the Bitcoins, too. And, I do think it is a trial balloon because actually I see all the people that are behind it. Max Kaiser and shit like that. I mean, yeah, be a Bitcoin millionaire, but you millionaire, or whatever. But actually, I think a lot of the beef that a lot of people had with Wall Street is that they made money for nothing. In other words, what did you contribute to make your millions of dollars? It's like you traded, you did this, you did that. What did you do to society? How did you benefit people? You didn't do shit, right? You didn't do nothing, right? And then people who have Bitcoins, it's like they fall right into the same camp. It's not like it's just an electronic money that's outside the system that they can't trace or something like that. It doesn't, the government shouldn't have control over it. It's becoming like, I'm going to make $1 gazillion off of Bitcoins by doing nothing. Right? So how does that make them any different from a Wall Street shark? Actually, the Wall Street shark looks like a freaking nothing compared to these guys. You know what I mean? If you put $100 down, you could actually been. If you put $100 down on Bitcoins in October 2009, not that I'm knocking it, but I don't knock the Wall Street sharks for this either. If they got lucky, but You put $100 down on the bitcoins in 2009 October. Theoretically, it could have been worth over 100 million at the freaking top. At the very, very peak. And, if somebody was doing that in Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, they'd be going, oh, you can't do that. So, what's the deal here? What's going on, right? Now, obviously, I'm kind of speculating with the silver, too, but there's something about it that it's almost like a moral thing. It's physical money. It's physical money. And yeah, maybe it's not money. It hasn't been declared money by central banks. But the common man can call it money. The common man can call it money if they want to. I can call cigarettes money, and I can call, anything money. I can call this stapler money if I wanted to, we can agree upon anything that's considered to be, our medium of exchange. But the point is, for things to actually go forward, people have to produce, and this is one of the problems that the ordinary person, has a problem with Wall Street, right? But, it's going on kind of like with Bitcoins, but, that may crash, because I am highly, highly, highly suspicious of all the people that are pumping it. But, I pointed out, it looks like the powers that be are blessing it, and I said, wow, now I realize what the deal is. It's basically all the currencies in the world are crashing against this Bitcoin currency. It's not going to be, Bitcoins is not going to be electronic money in the future, but in the future, there is going to be a global reset, and there is going to be an electronic currency. So basically, this is like a test pilot. That's what's going on. But the other thing is, the real bad side to this, now, and Mario Draghi talked about it, but it's actually coming from other areas and other studies that are going on, that they're already talking about stimulating the economy with negative interest rates. And if you have all electronic money, there ain't nothing you can do about the negative interest rates. You can't take your money out of the bank and use cash. See? So this whole game is actually dangerous as all hell. And you think these guys are stupid? They're not stupid. So I want to point this out here because, I'm old school all the way. And, I don't want to say too much, but, if you got to be like stealth, too. That's the other thing, too. Because, a lot of these truthers out there, they go talk too much in some ways, and hey, play along with the snakes, you know what I mean? If you got to, that's the deal. And I'm not pushing no drama here, but you got to remember, you're gonna have to actually, if you're gonna fight the bullshit, you're gonna have to go back to old school all the way. That's the only way. Old school all the way, man. And you know what old school requires? Old time freaking work, baby. Old time work. That's what happens, man. Okay? So, I just want to point this out, that they're actually talking about, they love the idea behind digital currencies, because all digital currencies, it's like you got your money all wrapped up in digits. There's nothing you can do about it, right? And, the Federal Reserve, or whatever the hell it is, the central bank wants to stimulate the economy. They can do negative interest rates. Negative. And, that's bullshit, too, because actually, when they're doing QE and everything like that, and they're buying up troubled assets, it's actually just shoring up the bond market for the freaking U.S. government, and also helping out the guys on the top with the troubled assets. They're not helping everybody else out with troubled assets. I mean, somebody bought a house for like $300,000 or $250,000 or $200,000, and it went to $100,000 and had all these big mortgage payments. The government isn't coming by and saying, here's the $200,000, and here's another $20,000 on top of it. We'll buy it from you and shore up your balance sheet. No, they do that with the guys on the top, man. So I mean, that's part of the stimulus plan. So, when they're talking about negative interest rates could possibly stimulate the economy, that's a joke and a half, because what are you gonna do? Like, if you lend me money, I'll pay you back less. How about that? I like that kind of loan. How's that? We'll do it that way too. How's that? See, that's the kind of shit I'd be giving these jackasses, because everybody's afraid to do it. It's like they go, oh, they get drama. But, I argue with them right there. If some bank was doing that, I'd waste their freaking time. I'd screw with them. But I can't tell you my whole game because I don't like revealing my whole game. That's the whole deal, man. I'm a master at this kind of shit. And the thing is, I realize a lot of the people that are out there, the common man, aren't. And I don't want to reveal that because when I reveal the whole freaking trick, all the tricks and all the devious snakes type stuff you got to do, I'm alerting the guys on the top. Because they'll pick it up way before the masses do. That's the problem. But really, when you go right back to it, the way to fight him is to go old school all the way. Which means it's like you got to be productive and you got to work too. You know? It's like, stuff that grows out of the ground just don't happen. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen on its own. So, but there's a game behind this digital currency shit, and I wouldn't accept it. I mean, if you got to do business in digital currency, fine. But that's never how you save. How's that? That's never how you save. That's the way I look at it. You know, this mark of the beast bullshit's probably coming up that they have in the Bible. But, hey, you might have to freaking do business in digital currency. Oh, well, But, hey, you know what? Hey, whatever the hell it is, you could save. You could save in other ways. That could be your money. That's your, cash that you got to use. That's liquidity, and everything else you accumulate may not be in digital currencies. And how would they know that? How would they know that? They wouldn't know it. I mean, it could be silver, it could be anything. I mean, I don't know. It could be antique carburetors. I don't care. It could be anything, all right? You see what I'm saying? So, just don't get caught up in the system. You got to play the system, but you don't want to be caught up in it. See, these clowns got something going here. What they got going is that they're talking about digital currencies so they can give you negative interest rates. So if you pull all your money out in cash wampum paper ain't going to work anymore. It's going to be all digital, right? So they got you by the cojones, right? So in other words, you're going to say, you got negative interest rates. Too bad. Because we got to stimulate the economy. That's BS. So, so watch out for this deal. It's coming up. It's coming up. That's why they want electronic money. It ain't cool. And, if you made a lot of money on your bitcoins and you're an average Joe, I ain't Karnak the magician. I know every freaking move that's going to happen in the financial market. Because if I did, I'd be a billionaire. If I started out with $100, I'd have freaking millions inside of a year if I knew that, right? Anybody would, right? Common sense says that bitcoins is in the bubble from hell, okay, right now, because I look at all the clowns that are out there right now talking about it like it's the best thing in the world. And I'm thinking, man, this thing might crash freaking into oblivion, too. And you can say, hey, I don't know anything. Fine, I don't know anything, all right? I don't know anything. I just know if I had bitcoins, I wish I bought them, I'd be unloading them right now. That's what I'd be doing. And, you got to remember, these guys that are pushing get rich, and all this kind of crap for doing nothing. It's almost like they're telling you to be just like a Wall Street banker, which is supposedly what you despise. Now me, I could play that game a hell of a lot more because I'm in the accounting field, and I could just go right back into that and make gazillion types of all kinds of dollars instead of doing this stuff on YouTube. You know what I mean? What I'm telling you is straight scoop. Straight scoop, man. I don't like those professional shitheads. I really can't stand them, okay? So when I see some little guy out there all of a sudden made a lot of money on bitcoins, I'm thinking, great, good. Grab the money and run. Spend that shit. Get something real for it. But don't become like one of the Wall Street shitheads you supposedly despise. You know what I mean? Stay true. Stay true all the way. And the only way to stay true is you're going to have to stay old school. Old school counts, man. Old school is important. Just remember that shit.